Ladies and gentlemen, and we've got Karl Howman, who's a British actor. He's seen the screens on the TV of British screens for many years, and also doing a lot of theatrical work. And he was great friends with Keith Moon also. So, gents, I just want to, I'll just hit you with a few questions. And first of all, how did you manage, Karl? I'll start with you. How did you manage to meet Keith and Dougal?
Well, I was very fortunate when I first started acting at the age of 15. Professionally, unprofessionally, but very unprofessionally at that age, with the National Youth Theatre. David Butler saw me in the show, and then a couple of years later, he wanted to cast me in a movie called That Would Be the Day, which was the very first film I did. And I auditioned for the lead role, David Scott, and what deserved it, so I was a better looking and better actor at that stage, and it was my first job. So he gave me a part as the guy who meets David at school and starts his band, and David joins his band and he sees him on stage. And I had to fly to go to the Isle of Wight to do the movie. I got to the Isle of Wight, I was there for a week, and David Butler said to me, he said, look, you can't play the guitar, so you've got to mind, but you need to know the chords, what you're doing. And he said, Keith Moon's arriving. He said, and when he arrives, I'm going to ask him to look after you. I was 16, 17, and Dougal arrived, Keith Moon arrived in the helicopter, and we were all at the Shaun Hotel, and I remember, Dougal, you remember this, Keith radioed in and asked all the waiters to go up and put a cross on the roof, so he knew the helicopter could land. And they would put these tablecloths, white tablecloths, a big cross on the thing. Of course, as a helicopter came in, everything went everywhere. That was Keith's arrival on the film set. And with everybody there, there was Ringo Starr, Billy Fury. I mean, it was a magnificent first job. I mean, we couldn't hope for that. And they said, Keith, this is Karl, will you look after him and teach him to play the guitar? So that was that was my introduction, and I never learned a thing for 3 days at Key. I learned how to drink. And he said to me, when you get on the set with the guitar, don't even look at the band, just turn your back on it, look over your shoulder, continue to play. And he said, that would look great. Well, I did that, and if you look at the film That Would Be the Day, you'll see what I'm doing. You don't actually see me doing it, because it's not me, isn't it? And they came and said, that's a good idea, so that was my introduction. And from then on, we did the next film the following year, Stardust, and that struck up a friendship with him, and everlasting one with Dougal.
Absolutely fantastic. There must have been so many memories in that short period of time that you spent with Keith. And you know, what ones really stick out? Apart from the introduction.
Well, it was just. There was loads. I mean, loads. The filming was one thing when we worked together, and we pretend to be. There's a lot of times when you're not doing anything in filming. You're sitting around doing nothing. Well, Keith always had to play a game. He had to be something. He had to do something. He was very bored, very, very easy. I mean, nowadays they have a syndrome for it, like attention deficit disorder. Those days, nobody knew what it was. He was just bored, so he wanted to do something. So he invented this thing where we'd all change our names to like Billy Fury or something like that. He changed his name to Deep Rivers, wasn't it? Yeah, and he said, so no one was allowed to call him anything but Deep Rivers. And Dave Evans was the same. I had a name, I can't remember, Alvin Avalanche, I think it was. And he wouldn't let anybody talk to him unless you talk through his character. So you're always playing games, you're always making things entertaining. I think the professional thing I remember most was when I was at the Royal Court. This is years later after the two films. Whenever he came into the country and ring me up and say, coming out, like I'll be visiting wherever he was staying. And stay with him a few nights and Dougal said, I'll come up and give you a night off. A babysitting thing. And go out with him and just... Well, I was doing play at the court with Helen Mirren and Anthony Sherry, now Sir Anthony Sherry, and a few others. And it was a pop band called, written by David Hare, who's a very famous, David Hare, very famous player. This is one of his first plays. And Helen Mirren was playing a pop star that attended the university, and I was the Rolling, which I knew how to do because knowing Dougal. And Keith said, I'll come and see the show. I went, all right, come and see the show. Okay. So I'm up in Manchester, and inevitably he turns up late, the show's on and everything else. He comes out to the stage door, drops a bottle of brandy in the entrance, then somebody pulls up dressing code and somebody to see you at the door, and he comes in, and then we have a fight in the dressing room, and he'd laugh and everything else. I said, you can't, you're too late, I've got to go on stage. So I went on stage, and we're singing at the end of the show. There's a song out of Mirror and sings Last Orders of the Titanic, and I can hear in the winds. This is at the Royal Court. David Hedges. Oh, he's mentioned in the play, by the way, Pete. So he loved that. He is his name. And he says, I hear, let me on the stage. He said, Clapton lets me on the stage. They don't let me on the stage to take a bow. And I'm looking at Heaven Mary singing, and there's Keith going, I always take a bow at concerts. This is not a concert, Keith, it's a play. And you can't go on, and there's fighting going on. Anyway, I eventually come off and said, you've got the lunatics in. We went, I got hold of him, and we went into the bar because David Hare wanted to meet him. So I took him into the bar to meet David Hare, and I said, David, this Keith, he was gobsmacked, David Hare, that he'd meeting with the great Keith Moon. And Keith Moon looked at him and said, he's my mate, give him more lines. Give him more lines. Sir David Hare, give him more lines. And he goes, oh no. He said, we'll go to Tramps. So we went to Tramps. I'm cutting a long story short, so we went to Tramps, and Polanski was in there. So he got hold of Keith's trumpet place. You're all right, Roman. This is my mate Karl. Give him a part. That's not helping him. He doesn't help at all like that, does he? But anyway, I ran on and on.
I mean, over the years, Dougal, you worked with Keith the longest, you know, for 8 memorable.
Well, 10 years. I mean, basically, I was starting as a road late 67. And cut a long story short, socially, I moved around with John. I used to drive from an hour up to the speaking. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. And one particular time, I never got stopped for 64, the emergency hour, it was all big, the wheels, and I joined the band, just 18 years of age, not the only years. And I remember an old Mini Cooper. Pick up John at Coach Laney's first house at the end of 40 hours. They didn't have a big kitchen, nothing, money was tight. And they said, well look, instead of us playing a cat, you guys up to the studios. We'll buy you the chicken and chips in a basket and buy you a beer as long as you're in the proper zone.
We're still being paid that 10 years later, wasn't it?
Well, I got the chicken and chips in the basket for my money. And, so for me, it was great. I'm going up and speaking. I always remember it was like, you know, I'm not on a 9 to 5 job anymore. And as we've gone into the studios, we've gone into the restaurant, and the chicken in the basket, and a bottle of Moe, and Lucius Rosé, the old Rosé wine. And I looked round to the left, and we were sitting next to us, and Paul McCartney and John Lennon. So for an 18-year-old kid who's into music, just I'm sitting with John, who's everybody knows the best bass player in the world. For me, Paul McCartney, John Lennon. So, you know, Friday night we always see him mates down the pub. So we always talk about whatever's going on during the week, or whatever. And I said, what have you done? They used to know this thing. I said, I was down in speaking with John and Alison, and you go, oh man, Paul McCartney, drinking Paul McCartney and John Lennon. And she's really going, yeah, probably other way. And so it was very hard to sort of say, well, no, you know. And as an 18-year-old kid, it was great. So that was my sort of start of socialising with John and Keith. Keith used to live above Dennis in a flat in Highgate. I mean, it was the pits, I can assure you. No money was coming in. We would turn out for about £150, £200 a night because they had to, because of the hedge. And it was great. I mean, then I sold my Mini Cooper and got a Morrissey 1100. I always remember we was recording, I think it was like in Secret Mars. Got a studio in town, and Pete said, I need to get another guitar. So it came about where I've got Kit Man and Pete in the back of my 1100. And he said, I need to go to Jim Marshall. So we drive up to Jim Marshall and said, dude, just keep the engine running. You've got to think this is Morrison that I'm under. It takes 15 minutes just to get to 30 miles an hour. He was just speeding at Jim Marshall, nicked the guitar off the wall, and said, I'll pay you later. And he's diving in the back, he said, gun it, dude, when I was It's only been 20 minutes just to get all the traffic lights 100 yards up the road. So there was all of that, and it was just wonderful, you know, just seeing the band, the church. I mean, I call them years their sort of an apprenticeships up until Tommy, because, you know, their albums are good, they didn't sell in bucket loads, their singles were brilliant, and to see 4 members, especially 3 as musicians, who are previously been in a hope of, you know, whatever, so I can see them all whatever you like. To see that coming through as musicians to fruition was unbelievable. Especially doing Tommy. That was, I can always remember Harrison used to come up there and used to play cards. And I always remember John Inson coming out and saying, I don't quite get what this is all about. This is all segments, and how is this going to come together and ask me to write a song about unforgiving? So how is this going to work? To see it all gel together in the end was unbelievable. And we still had to go and do gigs while we was calling Tommy for 250 quid a night, you know, just to make ends meet.
I mean, socially, it was a buzz, wasn't it? I mean, we couldn't keep up with him all the time. You had nights off. I mean, because he was just a million miles an hour.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
But of the memories about when you talk about records and music, my biggest memory of the music was when I'd gone up to stay with him at Nilsson's place.
Oh, yeah.
That Harry Nilsson had a place in Curzon Place. It's where Mama Castle died. And so I was staying with Keith, and he was recording the next day at, is it Conway or Sept? Yeah, I hope my numbers are and he was called to lay down a track, and he was going to be picked up at a certain time. And I stayed the night. He said, come down to Sept and we watch him do the recording. He's coming at 4 o'clock or whatever. So, or 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I can't remember the exact time. Anyway, we're going there, I said, keep you late, you're going to be late, you're going to be late. Oh, don't worry, they'll wait. And we were 2 hours late from the time he was told. So I'm sitting in the car with him, and we pull into the place, and the boys were, the other lads were all playing cricket on the, kicking a football about. And they were going, what time did you call this to me? What time do you know you were 2 hours late? And I said, listen, I'm sorry, I kept trying to get you wanted to arrive. And that's what they used to say. He used to say 2 hours before, cake him by pretending he was late, so he achieved what he wanted to do, and then that was it. But he sat there, they recorded everything, he just had to lay his drum track down for him. Mum's got a squeeze box, I think it was. And he just sat there, put the headphones on, and I was standing where Dougal was in our lean against the trestle table, and he just went, oh, and then off he went, laid this track down, it was just brilliant watching. No one else did anything, all the rest was in here, just hear the drum going. And that's when you really appreciated what the genius the man was. It was just phenomenal. And then he'd lay a double foot track down there. And yeah, it was just, I mean, that's the biggest experience. As well as playing, pretending on stage with him in the band, but to see him do that, it was a great experience to have that.
Definitely, I don't think there's been many people that's been in the studio with Keith, you know, Dougal, you've been there, you've been behind the backstage and watched, you know, from a view. But there's one question I actually want to ask both of you now. Part of your book, Dougal, there's, you know, 3 of you are out in the night, I think it's in Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, and you know, well, you maybe just answered the question, because one of the nights was, you're out, 3 of you are out, or 4 of you, including a footballer that's not mentioned in the book. And they all went back to the footballer's house with ladies, and I think you went empty-handed.
Yeah, now listen, I've got nothing against anything at all, but I'm a sexual guy for me. I rocked up with a football room there, and Keith had the 5 women in the room. Now, What does that tell you about
And that's a man that's on two Miss Worlds and, and keep it moving.
I think the guy you're talking about is yeah, we actually.
He said to me, how nice this fella was, Keith was, and we all hear about the madness, but he was a generous man, but also a caring man. When we were doing the film stars, I think I was on then £125 a week on contracts. In those days, 71, 72 was quite a lot of money, but it wasn't earth-shattering. He'd do that in one round, Travis or something, it was not like. And I remember he was going to Socializing, we met Lulu there and we were sitting there and I kept saying to Lulu, well, I'll pay for this. Whatever happens, I'm going to pay. You won't really do it, I'll pay for it. So he went, all right, he kept saying to the kid, he's going to pay, I was going to pay. So then he went, okay, we'll have 3 bottles of Dom Perignon, and then this comes, and then I said, well, we better have the bill then, right? So the bill came, it was like £380, I had £125. And I didn't know what to do. And Keith said to me, look, he said, what we do is what I always do. He says, I'm going to stand here for 3 times. On the third time, on the road, get in the limo, and we'll zoom off. Do you remember? He said, we'll stop the limo, so we'll be out in a minute. Are you sure of that? He says, you're going to know we are. You know, we'll do that. So anyway, so we went 1, 2, 3. I didn't even know, so I think I feel bad about it. So no one said, but he paid the bill. You know, he got to pay the bill. But he made me feel bad for that whole evening. Another one for running away anyway. So generous.
No, you look at it straight. I mean, one of the things that comes to mind when you're talking about clubs is a couple of years before we passed away, we used to go to church quite regularly when we were staying at Harry Lobster's flat. And we used to know Johnny Karl, and we used to know Harry and Spades and that. And we used to be full of English and Swedish novels, galore.
Sounds terrible.
There was wonderful models, which certainly came from the you know, if you had the money, it certainly paid. I didn't have the money, but we had a good time there. And Johnny Karl always used to leave at 3 o'clock at the car show. And we used to stay till 5 o'clock in the morning. It used to show the balls, had extra drinks, the cleaners, and stuff. But then this rich Arab kept coming. We had a brand new family 6 Rolls Royce. Brand spanking new. Now, of course, a £250,000 buy. So he used to come in with his girlfriend with a chauffeur. So we used to know the bouncers. So with me being former girl, she goes to take back to our flat in Thursday Place, which is only literally 5-minute walk. We bribe the bouncer with a tenner, we bribe his chauffeur for a tenner, pretending it was King's car, and then we would say, what, we're going, would you like to lift back to our place, the property? And the bouncer would go up the stairs, open the back door of his family Rolls Royce, put the girls in the first, he would switch on the telly and he'd say, oh, yes. And I've already seen the chauffeur a tenner, he'd drive us around the King's flat. He'd say, oh, what's going on? 5 o'clock in the morning, you should type in that? Yes, what's the rest of the cat getting on? And we've done that about 10 times over about 2 months or so. I think it's what the guy was. But you talk about filming, I remember when we was doing, I think it might have started when we was filming in a restaurant, Parking Square. Putnam was getting a bit annoyed because there's quite a lot of drinking going on away at Grandview Ginger.
Oh, that is
So, I just thought that would be right. I said, don't worry about it.
He actually got Keith got some, Putnam's came home, he was reluctant, they were all reluctant to tell Keith off, right? Because it's a red rag to a court to tell Keith off. If you told him not to do something, then just tell him to do it. So where it was, he was getting worried because Keith was having a brandy and ginger when he was getting on board. So he goes, so he's told all of us, so they make a point of going to me as the youngest, you mustn't drink, and I go, oh, I wasn't, and he goes, you mustn't. keep it going, look at this, stop bullying him, you know, all this business. So then we say, go on, you look lads, and go, right, no drink on the set. So then this is when Dougal takes over.
Oh yeah, so I thought of an idea in the famous Lucozade, which is, for the likes of the American customers, an energy drink, and it's in a large bowl, and it's sort of a ginger colour, and it's what everyone in the 60s.
And cellophane wrapped. So the old yellow cellophane
So I
over
bought a box of this Lucozade, and I just got a pen on the six, the cellophane gradually, and everything. Got the top, poured it down the drain, 2 bottles of Cosmo and ginger ale, just poured that into it, and it just looked like cellophane. Cellophane, and I just went pumping it. Don't worry, David.
You got on the set with anyway, is this alright? Yes, that's alright.
There you go, guys. Help drink now. Good boys. You're going to be a drinker. But 2 hours later, they're all wiped out.
Case of Lucozade. Dave Edmonds, bless his heart, when the car used to pick me up in the morning, it used to pick Dave Edmonds up. And the next day I got around to this and we couldn't get him up. So I went up to the driver's seat, trying to get him, his girlfriend answering the door, and he had a case of Lucozade there, and he said, I've been sick all night. He said, this Lucozade ain't the same as the other. He had a stomach, he tried bottles of it, and he wasn't getting the hit. We're talking about money, my wages and what he was emailing to me, the card or this. I remember he took me, he had been transfer agent, he'd come back to the country for some reason, they were calling or doing something, and he rang me up and said, do you want to come up and play? And I go, oh, so I'll meet him up there and go and go to trans. After we'd been at Trade Fix, I think, and then we go around the trans. And we went in there and he says, we'll have these Pacific prawns, they're wonderful. And I'm only very young then, just about my teeth by then. And he said, so these Pacific prawns came in a big round glass thing like that, like a vase, and they're all sitting around it, all this ice in the middle. So then he had Don Perry on and us, and so we're chatting about it, talking to other people. A couple of girls he got sitting at the bar, and he said to me, he goes, right, we're ready to go back to the flat. I went, yeah, well, we go back. He says, so he calls over for the bill. Now, he calls for the bill, and he's sitting there looking at the bill, and this isn't Keith, he normally just goes like that, or, you try and have money because, you're in a bigger situation financially, so you go, oh, but he went to me, for the first time ever, he went, how many calls did you have? I can't remember, about 7 or 8. How many were on there? 28. I said, what's the matter? He called the guy over. They said, these prawns have gone up, they're £27,000. and I went, what? He says, 27, he said, the prawns have gone up. Now he thought, the prawns, it was £1,000. Well, what the guy said, he said, no, listen, he said, that's your bill for the last year. I had been here, he said, I've been in California. He went, that's what it is. He said, that's that Mick Jagger or someone, one of them was playing jokes and they were going to go put it on Keith's bill, and they'd all done that over the year while he wasn't there, and he went, oh, that's what it is then, and he paid it. But the funny thing is, I'll never forget, is he thought it was the prawns. He had no idea of the cost of the prawns. And he was querying, he actually felt guilty querying the fact that they were £27,000 for 27 prawns. So that's the weirdness of it.
Dougal, there must have been many times that for a while you were actually looking at these finances and paying this person and paying that. But, is there any stories that you've got in, specific incident that happened where you paid, you had to pay the bills and it's quite excessive over a period of time? Or?
Oh no, we never paid for that. We never paid for anything. That was it, we never paid. They used to send the bill into the office. Just put it on the tab there, right? No, he didn't know where it was going, I didn't. And just used to say, put it on the tab. I can remember when he was operating and he had his first child, and he was Jagger there, was reading my place. down the road, with the old stuff living next door in. From his wife and birth to their first class, so we went across to Crazy Horse across from Alex's restaurant. Well, Mama was having it now. And he just got up, put it on the table, and we just all walked around. Absolutely, was fast. And I remember a mate of mine saying he was doing it, he had an old Cadillac Hearse. We all piled in the back of that to get back to London. Nothing was playing, so I don't know who played. Just had to send it to the office. And they would just bring the card and say, yeah, okay, we need to sign. And then I suppose it was up to their managers or the guy who ran the place to find out whose management company was in LA or in London.
Did you remember him having a checkbook that he didn't really wasn't an account?
And yeah, it wasn't really a surplus. We had a checkbook, basically.
It was only
There was never anything in it. There was never anything in the bank account.
It's like Channel Islands account. You couldn't cash anywhere. You just write it out.
Yeah. I think they always come back. Forget never.
We're kind of running out of time, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually ask one of the audience each, well not each, but two questions if we can. I mean, I'm sure Dougal's been asked over the years every question possible, so let's try and get something, a little bit different out there that, might get Dougal thinking.
Yeah.
So, has anyone got a question they'd like to ask Dougal or Karl? Oh, Gareth.
I want to tell a story about when he went down to see the Queens.
Oh, you're telling a story about when Keith Bell living next door to Stephen Queen.
Yeah, but there's one particular incident I remember, but maybe it might not be several. But one particular incident, Keith bought an Excalibur off of Liberace, which was in his show in Vegas, and it was the most horrible car in the world. It was real pig-mobile. And but used to have two exhaust on it. He used to take the backwards off the back, and he used to sound like an old English fighter plane, like a Spitfire. And me and Keith had been over the road, across the highway to a restaurant, stroke bar, and we got on at 2 o'clock in the morning, as you know, in LA, they shop at about time 2 o'clock. So we come back, and it's a gated community, only 4 or 5 hours. As you know, the Queen's lives next door. So we put up outside the garage and the cars just ticking over. Oh, because me and the chat, I just let the thing go, right? So we just get into the house and, it's all that thing drinks with married, so I know a cup or two, and all of a sudden there's a on the door. I was like, who's that? I said, oh, have a look, so it was fire, he's come back here. Fuck me, it's McCoy, he's got his killer dog. He said, you've got that answer, dude. What? So in the end, I did was all cracked up. And I thought, you got to really think, how do I handle this? I want to see McQueen, he's got this thing on the lead, and it's like going to go on his throat. So I open the door and I go, sit! Sit! Quick as a bell, I went, this was McQueen. Is anything wrong? Can you keep that lying eyes down in an American accent? He said, I love you two guys. He said, I need that sleep. He said, just cut the noise down. Put some shit up there before us to stop waking me up. The following week, right where Keith's house is about 6 feet apart from his, there's like a hallway, and Keith had all these lovely LED lights put in, and one of them's on his bathroom. Because he kept leaving the light on at night, Keith, the Queen got the Unpaid. So he took out his 45 and just shot through his window and shot the light out. To keep him to turn it off, they just shot the thing in the bowl, just shot the light. And put it over in the wall. So, we're good neighbours, and quite good at it, Risky business. Not with, with McQueen and but he was a nice guy, McQueen, I remember when we moved there, he said, I introduced myself to him, he said, well, this is paradise where I live. And I thought, look, it's not no more, mate. got Keith. The paradise is gone.